Hello friends, welcome back to Teaching Tuesday. Today we're going to do some weaving and making some fun fish. They look like they can be really complicated, but they're not. Some of you may have gone fishing this summer, some of you may have seen some fish. Let's start out with the pieces that you need in order to create today's project. I have some cardstock. You can use construction paper. This one is out of construction paper. You can use typing paper. Typing paper is a little thin. Computer paper, it's a little thin. I like working with cardstock, but it is not required. A ruler for those who are practicing measuring, and a pencil. A pair of scissors, and a glue stick, and a marker. And I think that's all I have. So let's start out with making some strips of paper. I'm going to start out, I've used this piece of paper before, it's not a full strip. I'm going to make some strips of paper that are about 1/2 inch wide. So my ruler is going to go down here. It can be right on one of the numbers. See this big line here? Line that up and then measure in 1/2 inch. And I'm going to make several of these. So you can measure every 1/2 inch. See that? That will give me 3 strips. I'm going to the other end. Line up your edge with one of the big lines and then go into 1/2 inch. And the adults that are helping you can help you with this if you need that. I'm going to make 3 marks there too. I'm going to line up my ruler. Here's one mark that I made, and here's the other mark. See that? My ruler's pretty close to it, but I can still see the mark. So hold your ruler down tight and draw your pencil right across the edge. It doesn't have to be hard. Go to the next one, line them up, draw a line. These are the last dots I've made. I'm going to line those up, draw a line here also. Put my pencil down, my ruler away. See, I have 3 lines here. And then I'm just going to cut them out one at a time, trying to stay as close as I can to the line. You're going to need maybe 7 or 8 of these pieces. I already have some cut, so you don't have to watch me measure all of them. This is great practice for measuring and drawing lines. Kind of hard to push the ruler down with little hands, so they may need some help. And cutting on the line. There we go. So I've got 3 strips. I'm going to add these to some that I've already cut. So I have a pile of paper strips. This is cardstock. You can use any kind of paper that you want. The thicker the paper, the easier it's going to be for little hands. If it's paper's thin, you're going to have to go pretty gently. The next thing you'll need is your full-size piece of paper. This is cardstock also, but you can use construction paper, scrapbooking paper. You can maybe use the cover of a magazine or something like a cereal box. You could open up a cereal box and use the back of it. So it's kind of tough. I'm going to draw a fish on this. All right, you guys, some of you are saying, Miss Heather, I can't draw. You know what? Yes, you can. I'm going to show you what you can do. It's not hard. You may have to draw a couple lines, but then you'll get there. Don't worry. Let me show you. Ready? Okay, here's my piece of paper. Put that up a little bit. I want my fish to be fat, so I'm going to draw him this way. Just kind of make a little arc there like that. See that? I'm kind of keeping my hand in the middle and moving my wrist to go around. You see that? I'm leaving some space at the end because we're going to put tail over on this side. Right, now I'm going to turn the paper over. I'm going to put my hand in the middle again. I'm going to make another one of those arcs. Just kind of, it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have a bunch of lines. You're going to have to decide which line you want to use. See how my hand is in the middle and it's just keeping the pencil straight and twisting my wrist? And look at that. I've got two curved lines on there. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to curve it up like this a little bit, just a little bit. And this one, we're going to come up to meet it so it looks like a smile. We're going to have a happy fish. And then the tail over here, I'm going to make a little curve like that. See, that looks like a U or an arc. And it's going to come up and we're going to curve over to the edge. They're not exactly the same, but they don't have to be. And then we're going to come into the middle just like that, just a little bit. And that's going to be the fish's tail. You see that? So you have a fat fish. We'll put an eye over here. We'll do that when we get to the end. So whatever your fish looks like, it's fine. If it's skinnier than that, it's okay. We can make a skinnier fish. Now I'm going to cut out my fish. I'm going to do the outside part first. And it's all right if you have a couple of different lines there. You just choose the one you want. I'm going to go around the edge of his tail like this. Now remember, I'm keeping my scissors straight and moving the paper. Go down just a little bit in the inside of his tail. Coming up here. See, I'm moving the paper around. My scissors are mostly staying straight. I'm going to kind of cut in between lines here to where I want to be. I'm going to go in here and make a smile. And then I'll come from this end, doing exactly what I told you not to do. Don't twist your scissors. There. Put the extra pieces off to the side. You see that? You have a fat fish. We've used the whole piece of paper on this. I didn't tell you, with your strips that you were making, I need you to cut them long ways. You may have figured that out already, but I didn't tell you that. You ready for the next part? Okay, flip your fish over so you don't see any pencil marks on this side. And now I need you to fold his body in half. Don't pay attention to his tail at this point. You've got this big, fat, round fish. So we're going to tote his nose over to just the beginning of his tail. You see that? Just the beginning of his tail. And with my pencil, I'm going to make some marks on the fold. We're going to make some more cuts, but I'm just going to mark where I want those. You can put them as close together or as far apart as you would like. I just have a series of little marks on the edge. See those? Now I'm going to cut with my scissors. I'm going to cut straight in. This one's going to go a little bit curvy, so I don't cut the bottom of the fish off. Don't cut your fish off. But all of your lines need to be about the same length. So you're going to start with a fold and cut straight in. See that? Cut straight in. I'm trying to make all of my lines about the same length. Straight in. Got a couple more cuts here to make. This one I'm going to curve just a little bit because I don't want to cut off the end. But it's still about the same length. You see how they're all cut to about the same length? Good. Now open up your fish. And you have a whole bunch of lines here. See those? Your fish with lines. Now this is where you get to do the fun part. So take one of your strips and we're going to weave in and out of these strips that you have here. Now when you're weaving, you're going to go underneath. I'm going to start off with this first first piece. I'm going to put my piece of paper underneath. I'm going to start at the side with a smile on it. See that? So it's over the first one, under the second one. I'm going to go over. I'm putting my hand underneath so I can pop up this piece here. My paper is going to go under that one, over this one. Put my hand underneath and pop up the paper, under this one, over, pop up this last one, under, and over. You see that? Now we've got this fish with the first piece in there. You see that? Now we're going to keep going. And I think I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to use one of my purple ones that I just cut. This time, I'm going to go under this first one on the outside and over this. So it's alternating. You see how this one was over the first time? Now it's underneath. Now we're going to push this one up. We're going to need both sides here. Get both of your hands going. You're going to take this one up. And you're going to continue over and under, over and under, over and under. Now they're kind of crooked, so I'm just going to hold the fish. You may need someone else to help you with this so you get extra hands. And I'm going to slide that back and forth just a little bit to get it in there. Slide it in so it's nice and tight there. You see that? I'm going to keep going with this, over and under. Now this one, we just went underneath this one, didn't we? So now we need to go over top of it. I think I'll use a green one. So we're going to go over top of it because we want every other one to alternate here. See that? Over and under. You guys can say that with me too. Whoops. Pop it up there. If you can't get it through, just flip your fish over, pop it through that way. Over this one. I'm going to go under. And I bent my paper. It's not going to hurt anything at all. Under this one. Over. Under. And over. Hold your fish and then slide your little pieces in here. Push them down so they're all tight in there. Just pushing. Be gentle. If you're not using heavy paper, it can tear your paper. Okay, so be gentle as you're pushing it down there. I'm going to keep going until I get to the very last one, and then I'll be back with you. You keep going too. I'll be right back. Hi, I've got all my strips in except the very last one. And I just wanted to work with you on this one because it's a little hard to do. So I figured I'd walk through it with you. My last one went under here. So I'm going to go over and I need to push this little part up so I can get my piece of paper under there. See that? Now I'm going to turn my paper over because it's easier to push it down. So I'm going to push this side down. See that? Turn it over. As I'm going over and under here, I'm pushing each piece down here. I think it's easiest to get it down that way. If you can work a different way, absolutely. You just need that last one in there. So I'm just flipping my fish over and under. See that? Pull it through a little further. There we go. Oh, that one came through by itself. And under, that's the last one. There are fish. Ta-da! Doesn't that look cool? Now there are a couple last finishing touches that we want to do for our fish. For the top, I'm going to take the top pieces and I'm going to cut this way because the fish has got a fin on the top of it. So we're going to take one end, and the one by its tail, it's going to be the longest, and we're going to cut our pieces at an angle. You see that? Cut our pieces at an angle to make the top fin. I'm going to turn my fish sideways. Now your bottom fins, you could have one bottom fin like this and cut this way from the long to the short. But I'm going to make two fins here. So I'm going to use, I think, 4 for the first fin. I'm going to make the first fin a little bit longer. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to split them here. And we're going to take this one, oops, go to the front like that. And then I'm going to take the last 3 and cut them in like that. You see what I did? There. Now it looks like a fish. You can take the little pieces that you have left and decorate him. If you like, you can cut some other pieces. I think I'm just going to make some little triangle pieces here. Cut at an angle to make the edge like a triangle point. And I'm going to glue them on, I think. There we go. Put that one there. I think I'll put this one over here. Maybe put some green on the tail. There's a little piece. Whoops, you can see my purple glue there. Woo! I don't even have anything down on the table, do I? That's unusual. Put a little blue spot over here. There, so I decorated just using the scraps that I have. We've got some decoration on his tail, and he needs an eye. So I'm going to make a circle. See, this is where smile goes up. Smile's going to go up. There's a big circle. And now I'm going to put a smaller circle inside of it and fill it in. And if you want to, you can just leave a little light dot in the middle, like that. And there, my friends, you have a fish. There. You can make all sorts of different colors and patterns. I like this one. I think I'm going to have to put it up on the refrigerator. I hope you've had fun today. I've enjoyed being with you. And next week we'll come back and make another craft. Bye.